Hey, what's up, guys? It's no longer Edison Sears. I've recently legally changed my name just because I was running out of puns to make with Edison Sears. So to keep things fresh on the channel, I'm going to change my name to Benjamin Deers. And I think that will open up a lot of possibilities for me. But after that announcement, I do actually have some cards to go over. We did get a CGC return back. This is, I actually don't even know. This might be late March, early April, one of those two. It took like right around a month to get graded in bulk from CGC. And this is like what a lot of people are saying, that the CGC bulk turnaround says 60 business days. Realistically, it's looking like it's 20 business days now. The issue is the cost of grading is just really so stupidly high now. $12.50 a card, super expensive. And at the same time too, there are a lot of cards that just aren't selling for as much as they were a year ago, 2 years ago. So to do this bulk volume is a lot tougher because I'm not able to kind of sell at that rate to justify submitting. I can't really afford to submit 300 cards at once anymore because they just don't sell it fast, but I might be submitting like maybe 50 cards a month. But I think this order was like a little over 170. It's a very random number. I looked at the dollar amount and I got to right around, it was like $2,400 to grade, 25, 24, somewhere around there. And I thought that was like a good metric to go by. The cost of grading, I think that makes sense. Really nice little Gengar. I changed the camera so it's a little bit further away. I think this is better, so you can kind of see the cards a bit better when I hold them up. Cool little Smeargle from Reviving Legends. This is an interesting one. A lot of the Reviving Legend holos I've noticed are I recently did a binder set for like this era of holos, and I noticed that I think it's L2. A lot of the L2 holos are really expensive, raw. Cool camera up from expansion pack. In English, if you don't know, this is just EX Ruby Sapphire. That's just stock artwork. More stock artworks. Nines are better. I don't think I've ever graded this one before. This is just Dialga from Space Time Creation, which is DP1. In English, this is just Diamond and Pearl base set, but I've noticed, if you've noticed yourself, if you've been like watching this channel for a while, I made the realization that the Japanese set names have a flair for the dramatics. They're a little bit more theatrical. We have very literal interpretations. Yeah, this one, I think I have a couple of these coming up. Delcatty EX. I think all of the ones that I purchased for this weren't in the best of shape. Big issue I noticed for them was going to be widening, but I wanted to get this graded. Two reasons. Like EXs in general, ultra rares are kind of worth grading, even if I think they're going to be 7.58s. There's still a market for lower grade ultra rares. But the main reason for this is I just think this is amazing artwork. Here, another. Yeah, so I knew these were rougher going into it, so both of them coming back 8s is pretty. I think that's pretty fair. I maybe would have said 7.5 to 8, so or a little bit on the high end. Pinsir Delta Species, the Hollow, an 8.5. Offense and defense to the furthest end. I don't remember what set that name is from. Armaldo, Holland Phantoms. I'm pretty sure this is the same set name in English. It just becomes EX Holland Phantoms. Shift Tree. This one's pretty good. One thing I do like is when they do the super heavy line work, because it looks more cartoonish. And overall, the grades of this submission have been higher than the past. Like the past couple of subs that I sent in, especially like the past two, we were getting a lot of 7.58s on holos, and that's super bad. I auctioned a lot of that stuff off, essentially just to break even. Oh, that's gorgeous. Team Aqua's Manetric. Yeah, a lot of these Aqua series EXs, I mean, a lot of these holos in general are very hard to find in like 9.5 plus, but especially like the early EX stuff. Scizor. This is another one of those Reviving Legend holos I was talking about. This one I think is so stunning. The way that they have Scizor. I don't know. How should I describe this? Like, this feels a lot more like an art piece than just a regular Pokemon card. Because like it's not like the Pokemon itself is really visible. Scizor is completely blacked out. You have the moon shining behind him. You have the light behind him, so he's just casting the shadow. And it's like a much more artistic interpretation then like this shift tree is very like plainly just shift tree. You know, it's no gradient, super simple coloring. It's I really appreciate when they take these kind of leaps with the artistic direction for the cards. But I've been talking about that for years at this point. Dark Houndoom, 8.5. This is for also, oh, sorry, this is not Team Magma, this is Team Rocket. Oh, this is a really good grade. I'm really happy. I was gonna keep this one for my binder, I think. I decided just to buy a raw, like a really beat up raw copy for a couple bucks instead. And I'm pretty happy I decided to grade this and come back at 9.5. But the more I look at CGC slabs, I really appreciate the modern slab. I think what they've done with the holder is a huge improvement. And I don't know, I think the labels have kind of come into their own. I look at some of my old label stuff and it just doesn't look right. Like it's always lopsided, miscut a lot of the time. It looks like an afterthought. But now it seems like a very fleshed out separate product. Flareon VMAX. This is I think this is one of those that's like an exclusive tournament promo in Japan. But in America, or I guess just in English, it released as like a promo card, like from a box. Yeah, we see on the label, it says where it comes from. This is one of my favorites. I graded a couple of these, and I have a couple more. Ooh, a 9.5. I love this artwork so much with the giant Flareon Executor. And then I think those lines in the background are supposed to be from, I think they're called VMAX dens? No. I have not played Sword and Shield in so long, I can't remember. Vileplume EX, 8.5. That's what I was saying, like the ultra rares, you're kind of happy to get 8.5. I'll easily take a EX at an 8. Vileplume. I think I have quite a few Vileplumes. I don't know what this was that I just happened to find a seller with a bunch of those. A Nidoking for Clash at the Summit. Like, looking at these artworks, I'm really happy I went ahead and did a binder set for this set. Like, this era of cards. Just really good stuff. I mean, this is a vast improvement over the past submissions. Like, a majority of my stuff ended up in 9s this time. Oh, this might be just more modern stuff. I graded quite a few of these VMAX Climax Charizards. Not sure if this was a right decision. Okay, I guess they all just got 9.5s. This is just a regular line hollow. I've talked about this in the past, that I like having cheap slabs just in stock. For two things, I know stuff like Charizard, when one person... Well, if you have a bunch of cheap Charizards, I've noticed that people will tend to either bundle them together with other stuff. Like, you have two... Say you have two $25 Charizards, you can maybe make a bulk deal and sell it. One person will just buy 2 of them at once. Or, I mean, what's nice about these, well, I kind of like having no subgrades. Like no subgrades on this, I can just count up the quantity of 9.5s and list it as, like this is 5. I'll just say I have 5 9.5s in stock. This looks like we're coming up on that English stuff that I was mentioning on Facebook Marketplace. No, I think on Verbank. I ended up just picking up a bunch of like EX hollows and reverse hollows. So we have Blastoise, Delta Species, EX Crystal Guardians. This was, I don't even remember what I paid for this. I don't think, this might have been free because I was purchasing all the other stuff. I don't think it was. I think it was very cheap though. But I knew it was beat up, get a 5 in that. Like this I expected maybe a 5 or 6. I think it's really rough. I think there's a dent up there. Edge wear, and really heavy hollow scratching. 7.5 Umbreon. Umbreon reverse hollow. This one's so good. But this was a really nice looking card. You can see on the back. Super nice. Like no real edge wear, corner wear, maybe just like a little bit. I would say that this would grade like 8.5 to 9 on a good day. But I'm trying to see where it was. Oh yeah, right there. There is a, like a, I don't know what you would call it. I don't think it's a hole, but there's almost like a puncture where like pressure was dropped down. I don't know how to describe it. You can kind of see it right next to the ear. And I think that's a pretty like severe surface issue. So it got taken down, but it was priced accordingly. Flygon Delta Species reverse. Love that artwork. 5.5 Blastoise. This was the one that might have been free. The crystal one I had to maybe pay for, but this was free. Why is this a 5.5? It's a really nice... This might be a weird statement, but this is a nice looking 5.5. Right? Am I crazy? 5.5. I'm guessing there has to be surface wear. The edges are super clean. So this might have been sold to me as a mint card and graded 5. That seems more so like a misgrade than anything. Latios Delta Species reverse. Duskull EX Emerald reverse. Sharpedo Delta Species. Oh, that was in Duskull Delta. That was just a reverse. Sharpedo Delta reverse and a 9. Yeah, I think a lot of them were sold to me as near mint. I got them in hand. I inspected them. There were some that were sold to me as near mint that I sent to Troll and Toad to sell. And Troll and Toad listed them as light play to heavy play. So that's kind of rough for me. I paid near mint prices to have to sell them for moderate play prices. And then the rest of the stuff that I bought near mint, like 60% of it, I threw in a binder. And then this is the only stuff that I found was somewhat gradable. Obviously, the Latios is a lower grade. But Latios, like the Latios is a popular Pokemon. The Delta Species Blastoise is popular. The Umbreon's popular. And then the 859 was like the nicest looking stuff. 8.5 in the Jolteon V. Same thing with that Flareon VMAX I was showing. This is just an alt art promo. I think I purchased a couple boxes of these raw when they came out, and then I submitted the packs. I submitted pretty much every single thing from them. So I submitted the packs, the coin, the dice. No, there's no dice, there's a pin. Yeah, I submitted that all to Troll and Toad to sell, and then I took the promos for myself to grade. 8.5. 8.5. Oof, a little rough. 8.5 in the Scyther. I think I have so many of these Scythers, and they don't really sell too often. I think this is the highest grade I've ever gotten. 9.5. 9.5 in the Palkia G. I think I might have been sold out of this promo. And we're going to end on a Breloom and a 9. So I sent this order back in 4 boxes. I'll probably just do 2 boxes in each video. So yeah, that's just what I'm doing now. Yeah, this is more Japanese. 9.5 in this Ninetales. This one's really sick to me because you see like the Firestone right there that's evolving it. I mean, these cards, I'm so happy to get back in high grade. Like 9.95. Because truth be told, I end up buying a lot of these cards from Japan. And like just kind of knowing CGC standard for what a 9 is, especially like for what a 9.5 is, I quite frankly don't think a lot of my cards can get 9s. So I just build binder collections for myself, or I sell them raw and stuff like that. And I think there's a pretty good chance that you can get a 9 or a 10 with these cards at P.S.A. But like getting a CGC 9 or 9.5 on these is still a very good feeling to me, because these to me are beautiful examples. These are truly mint examples of these cards. Blossom 9.5. This is great art. This is actually one of my favorites too, this Aggron. This is just like that shift tree I was just talking about, the one that uses like the really heavy black lines to kind of give you the dimensions. Luxray. And this is a really strong box. Lots of 9.5s and low population hollows. And now that there's actually a CGC population report, I don't just have to say low pop hollows. I can actually verify that and search. Maybe Venusaur, like the starters are probably a little bit higher pop. Oh, that's sick. Venusaur in 10. I mean, I've graded quite a bit of like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum era stuff. I don't have that many 10s. So these are really cool to come by, or just to see. 9.95, 9 in a Mew. I have way too many of these Mews. I might have overvalued how popular that card was. 85 in the Venusaur. Of these 2 Venusaurs, I think I'm more so partial to the Beats of the Frontier, the Platinum era one. It's more dynamic. This whole line of like Shining Darkness, I think Secret of the Lakes is like this too. It's a very weird like CG look that they went for them. 9.5. 8.5. This one's great. Ninetales from Undone Seal. with a volcano in the back. Another thing I've noticed is a lot of these Pokemon are quite a bit more popular. I'm not seeing any Luminions or Regigigases, or, I mean, maybe just I structure these boxes different and we'll have them in a later box. But I think one lesson I did learn was to submit more popular Pokemon. At least that's the theory I'm going to tell myself. This stuff has all been much better in terms of quality. Quality of Pokemon over the quality of card. The grading is pretty similar. Okay, perfect 10. I'm obviously excited to get a perfect 10, but I had a friend reach out to me, Celebrity Collectibles, if he's watching at this point, and we were just talking, and a lot of people from my experience, we've talked about VMAX Climax, and the 10 rate on this set is so high that the printing quality is very, very good. So perfect 10s on an older card would be pretty cool. I guess 2 perfect 10s is pretty cool, but yeah, I can't really take any credit for this. Like, this card is just pristine when they ship it out. This is a cool one, though. Galar Friends in a CGC 10. This one I think I just picked up on Macari Raw. That's great artwork. I recently saw one of these auctioned for like maybe over $500. That's quite the nice premium. So we go from perfect 10 immediately to a 9.5 into another 9.5. The 9.5s, we might be able to make like 10, 20 bucks on, but we definitely milk quite a bit from getting the perfect. This is the second version of this card I have in 9.5, but I thought there was enough issues on this that it would warrant a 9 at the best, but very likely get an 8.5. So that's why I sent it bulk. So I mean, I will take my 9.5, but that seems a little bit higher than I personally would have rated it. 9.5 in the Play Umbreon. It almost looked like there was a texture shift for a second. These are really good looking cards. A pristine 10. Nice looking card. Another pristine 10. All right, the quality of this first box was really, really high. What the hell? Charizard, I bought this from, I think it was Pokemon Butler at that January convention I went to. It was sold to me as near mint. I graded this around a 7.5. Just looking at it in hand, it came back a 7. I think this card has actually just dropped a lot in value since I bought it. This I remember I also bought from them. It was sold to me as near mint plus, and that's, I mean, essentially what I got an 8.5, which is near mint plus. This is a gorgeous example of this card, Venusaur EX. I can tell you that Venusaur EX is probably very, very pricey, even an 8.5. This I also bought from that same event in January. Clefairy. I mentioned it in the video when I got these, but these were like a purchase promo. You bought the booster box in Indonesia. You got it. What's super cool is the name is in English, and the back of the card looks like an English back, but you obviously have to look that it's Indonesian variant. Ho-Oh Legend piece. Top half in a 10, and I'm gonna guess the bottom half is the same. It's really, really, really nice to have a Ho-Oh Legend set in CGC Pristine 10. Looks pretty good. I submitted the Legends, the Ho-Oh set, and then an Entei and Raikou set. And the Entei and Raikou set slightly outdid it. The bottom half is a pristine 10, but we got a perfect 10 top half. That's kind of cool. Like, there's two things. The Ho-Oh set's a lot easier, I think, to kind of conceptualize and sell because it's a pristine 10 set. This one, I almost feel pressure to sell the top half separate because it's perfect, but I probably will just list them as a set. That's phenomenal. I'm very, very pleased with that. At the time, I felt like I was kind of overpaying for them from this card shop. They were sold to me as, I think, mint condition copies. But obviously, mint condition ranges from 9 to 9.5 to 10. So for those to come back 10 is astounding. These Marnies, I think I picked up at Collecticon in Houston in like last September, or a long, long time ago now. Same thing with these Shaunas. I think they were all purchased from the same exact collector. This Pikachu I bought from a card. I went to visit my grandma. Shout out to my grandmother. She lives in Brooklyn, and there's a card shop by her. And they were selling some Japanese cards. This was sold to me as a mint copy. But the moment I walked out the store, I noticed there was quite a little bit of edge wear. And I mean, one thing is I noticed edge wear. I then went on this store's Instagram account, and I scrolled through their feed, and I found when this card was listed initially in the store, like 2 or 3 months prior to when I bought it, it was initially listed as a light play copy. And I noticed what they had done was a lot of those listings from 3 months ago that were listed as light play, they were some really expensive Japanese promos listed as light play. I noticed that when I was in the store, all those cards were listed as near mint. So that's all I'll say. And this was listed, I believe, as a light play copy though. For this Primate, I went through all of their legendary collection cards, and this was the cleanest copy I could find for the Primate, for any of them. So I picked that one up. And so, I mean, this is obviously astounding. Like, the majority of this submission was, this first box was 9 to 10. A little bit more 9.5s. Like, just for reference, this is how many 9.5s I got. I mean, I only got one less 10 out of this box. This is a lot of 10s. People might not be as interested as I am in this, but I also rated Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I've kind of been buying Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards here or there for a while now. Nothing too expensive. Like, I don't think a lot of these cards are that pricey. But I did want to, like, we've known that CGC is doing Yu-Gi-Oh! They announced it a long time ago that they wanted to do Yu-Gi-Oh! So I picked up some cards that I thought would look nice, graded. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I literally have no clue what any of this stuff is worth graded. I don't think this is worth it at all. This is Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. This is one of my favorite characters from when I was a kid. I loved the anime, and I really liked when Wingman came out. I initially wanted to do an ultimate rarity collection of these. Then I realized the ultimate rarity in beat up condition is like $300. They may have gone up or down, I don't know. So I ended up just buying the ultra rare. So, I mean, not only is this a lesser rarity than the expensive one, it's also not even first edition. And I think first edition is a super important, I mean, even in Pokemon, it's pretty important. So I don't really think that was worth it. I will say that the CGC Yu-Gi-Oh! Holder is, I mean, it's the same exact size as the Pokemon one. This is Dark Magician Girl from the Lost Art promotion. I was talking to Swami about these, I would say maybe a year ago now is when I bought these. And now they finally got around to grading them, so 9.5. I do also want to note with the Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm a little ticked off with the submission process. When I was sending these cards in, I don't know if you've never done a CGC submission before, you pretty much group everything based off of tier. So you can do multiple tiers in the same box that you send to them, but then the tiers will all be shipped back individually, so you'll pay individual shipping costs. So you can send express with bulk, but you'll be charged 2 separate shippings because the express is obviously going to be done before the bulk. I was told with Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was sending this stuff in, they made me pay a separate shipping cost for my Yu-Gi-Oh! Submission, because they said that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff is a different holder or something like that, so it's going to be sent back at a different time, so you have to pay different shipping. Doesn't seem like a big deal, but CGC shipping is really expensive, so I ended up spending like $25 to ship back an extra 7 or so Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, but they shipped them with the Pokemon stuff anyway, so I spent, like, I only paid for a service that they didn't give me. Like, I don't know if I articulate that well, but they told me that this stuff had to be shipped separately, so they were going to charge me extra shipping, and then they just threw it in with the same submission, but then they still charged me for extra shipping. I want to get that off my chest because I think that's a really stupid thing, and I could probably just talk to them about that. Maybe it was like an issue with the form, but it's quite the confusing thing because I'm pretty sure I was still charged. And these are the ones I think are not valuable at all. This is literally like a $1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Card, a $1 Blue Eyes, but I just decided to stock up on these. I'll have to inspect them too, because what I've noticed for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I bought a lot of this stuff raw from TCG Player. Like this Flame Wingman is an older card. It was sold to me as near mint. Oh, this is super old. It's from 2005. Oh my god, I'm getting old. But yeah, like even the 2021 near mint stuff. This was the nice copies that got 959. I noticed a lot of them have pretty bad corner wear. I don't know if it's a quality control issue with Yu-Gi-Oh! But yeah, that's it. That is this CGC sub. Wow, this was pretty good 2 boxes. A lot more value here, and I'm happy that I tested out their Yu-Gi-Oh process. I'm going to a couple conventions coming up. I think I'm gonna be a lot more open, look for Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I kind of like and grade them. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you see anything you like, let me know. If you got to this point, I appreciate it, and feel free to drop a comment or like it. It really does help the channel out. But as always, have a nice one, and check out my socials in the link underneath where I'm pointing.